Welcome back to my channel, Ultimate Crypto Bureau. In this video, I wanted to update you guys on why the crypto market have fallen for past 2 to 3 days and the current state of the crypto markets. Possible macro reasons why crypto markets have fallen, and we will also delve into the technical analysis on BTC and ETH. Before we start going deep into this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to get real facts and knowledge about cryptocurrencies and other crypto-related topics. So let's jump into this into more details. So it all started when Evergrande, which is one of the biggest Chinese builders, filed for US bank bankruptcy protection. And we know that the real estate market in China has been in declining positions due to lack of credit back in China, and the Chinese government have been propping up the property markets for past few years now. And as a result of that, guys, market took this, not only just the crypto markets, but also the stock markets globally around the world took this as a negative sign for markets to drop, basically. And this has kind of, has a downward spiral for the Chinese markets as well. And also the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, Japanese Stock Exchange, US Stock Exchange, the European Stock Exchanges that have all fallen down, which we will look at when we do the technical analysis later in the video. So this was the beginning of one of the reasons why the crypto markets have started falling down from past and from last week, really. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason, which I believe has a lot of impact on crypto markets as well, is Fed officials. When they had the last meeting, they still see upside risks to the inflation, possibly leading to more rate hikes during this year. So what market analysts were pricing in was that Fed will not raise the interest rates any further this year. However, the inflation, although it has come down quite a lot, considerably lower. However, as you may have seen, the petrol prices have suddenly shot up from past month. And this could lead to higher inflation, meaning that Fed still might see this as the biggest problem for the US economy. And as a result of that, when they increase the rates even further, this could potentially cause a downturn spiral for stocks and increase the bond yields, basically. So this market took this as a negative sentiment as well, and this has caused not only the crypto markets but also the stock markets to fall down last week. It was a nice and significant fall for all the markets. So this could be another reason why the crypto markets have been going down past few days. As you can see, another news headline portraying the perfect storm as the high interest rates in US and Chinese fear bites. And this potentially caused, a downward spiral again. I mean, negative sentiment everywhere, which caused the problem. Also, there was some, the judge granted SEC request to file motion for appeal in Ripple's case. Well, to be honest, everyone within the crypto community knew this was coming, and it's not really something new. The judge has just granted the request of SEC to kind of appeal against the decision that was made earlier to consider Ripple as not a security when selling to individual investors, right? So this was coming. This is not new. I mean, this case was ongoing for a few years now. However, it doesn't really say much about the current state of what what's going to happen to XRP or what's going to happen as a crypto markets overall. So this was again another negative sentimental news that has come out last week as well. And one of the other reasons that I believe could have also had an impact on the price of Bitcoin, especially, is that Elon Musk's SpaceX sends Bitcoin tumbling. I mean, what they've done was they've recently, it came out from the company's books that they have sold all the BTCs, all the Bitcoins that they're holding. And obviously, they haven't sold last week, right, guys? They have sold, and the price was around 33,000 or 32,000, the highest it has recently reached this year. So, I mean, obviously, the filings are always after the event has already occurred in the past, and then they file it because SpaceX is a publicly traded companies. As a result of that, the news has come out. You guys can see the pattern, right? You have 5 negative news that have come out. Chinese builder news has come out recently. We knew this was happening behind the scenes. It's not a new news, but the media, the mainstream media has been portraying this as a negative headline, right? Fed minutes come out last week saying, oh, inflation is not under control yet. We might have to increase some rates this year again, just to control the inflation. The market analysts were actually pricing in no further increase in rates. However, now they are wrong. So now they're taking a negative sentiment towards stocks, towards all asset classes, basically. And these are few of the reasons that I believe which cause this macro reasons, I should say, that has caused Bitcoin price and the cryptocurrencies overall drop in the past few days. Also, now we're going to look at the technical perspective, and it's clearly very visible, even from the technical perspective as well, why this market fall was, to be honest, was due as well, because it flushed out some leverage trading that was going on, especially in BTC and ETH and all the big coins. So let's have a look at it. What has happened from technical perspective? If you look at the liquidations of the long positions that people were in, for example, in Binance, 61% of people were trading long on the leverage for BTC, and for crypto markets, you'll be same thing. 70% were going long. CoinX, 57% were going long. All of these people were thinking, you know what, crypto market's just gonna go straight up. Guys, it doesn't work like that, right? And as you can see, liquidation heat map. If I do past 24 hours, as you guys can see, 11.6 million of BTC and 10.8 million worth of ETH were liquidated as a result of what was going on. As you guys can see, 18,000 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $44 million, right? Well, why did this happen? Because people were not expecting, a sudden flurry of news, negative news coming out in the markets, not only for crypto, but in general, right? So as a result of that, it caused all the guys who were, trading on leverage. And this is one of the reasons why I always say to you guys, look, if you want to trade Bitcoin and if you want to do trading on cryptocurrencies, you have to be very careful on what leverage that you actually use. Yes, if you're going in your direction, then leverage is really good. But when it's going against you, it will quickly liquidate you out of the market, right? So trading Bitcoin and Ethereum or any volatile market on leverage, it's not really recommended, guys. most of the traders who have just 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, who would consider themselves, masters of trading in cryptocurrencies. To be honest with you guys, they have absolutely no clue how to trade cryptocurrencies. They're just following some random indicators on the charts, and they think, okay, they know it all. Guys, come on, it doesn't work like this. You have market sentiments. You have to look at what's happening in the news, whether it's a negative sentiment, whether it's macro factors, how the macro factors gonna impact, the risky assets. When I say risky assets, that includes, tech stocks, cryptocurrencies, any sort of, stocks that are traded globally around the world. These are considered generally in traditional markets and traditional finance as risky assets. So when Fed is increasing the interest rates, the risky assets tend to drop, right? However, since January, the market have been going up. So it was due a relatively strong correction. And now we are seeing that strong correction. Basically, we are seeing in the third quarter of the year, we're seeing a relatively strong correction. So it's expected, to be honest. Technically speaking, it was expected. People have been over leveraging in the cryptocurrency markets, and as a result of that, you see this liquidation heat map. And as you guys can see, most of the cryptocurrencies actually fallen down. A lot of traders were liquidated completely out of their positions, and they've lost money, right? So trading cryptocurrencies on leverage is absolutely not essential. You should not be doing it if you should be protecting in times like this when the market becomes very volatile. You should be protecting your assets and not taking extra risk or extra leverage. And as a result of this, most of the people who are trading or, going long in Bitcoin and currencies were all liquidated very, very quickly, right? It was a sudden drop. So now let's look at the crypto fear and greed sentiment. Typically, right now, as you guys can see, there is a fear in the market. Market is fearing that we might see a further, cryptocurrency prices dropping even further. And that's why it's currently sitting at 37, which means there is a fear in the market. If you have a look at it over the past 7 days, you will see from 50% of the index was at around 50%, and now it's come down to around 37%. So as you guys can see, the negative sentiment has taken effect, and it is dropping the fear into the investors, thinking, right, okay, Bitcoin prices might be dropping further down, something might happen, all this negative news that have come out in the mainstream media is causing panic within investors' minds, and thinking, right, okay, we should be selling everything. Should you be really selling everything? I don't believe so, right? Because the whole idea of the mainstream media is to create havoc, is to create fear into new investors so they can give up their cryptocurrencies. And guess what? When that happens, remember we have Bitcoin ETFs decisions coming up in next few months. So big firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, all of those guys will be laughing, and they'll be thinking, right, okay, you're actually buying, the crypto assets at a very cheap, at a cheaper price. What do you guys think? Have they bought back in November 2022? Of course they have, right? They took the market all the way back up. Then in June, they went for all the applications, flurry of applications for Bitcoin ETFs. And now we also see flurry of, Ethereum futures ETFs as well, which I believe will get approved. And then we will see a flurry of Ethereum, spot ETF applications will come in as well. So it's some good news for crypto in that sense. However, right now there's a lot of fear in the market, guys. So nothing to fear about if you're doing, dollar cost averaging on your own, the best coins, on good coins only. Look, guys, there's no point doing dollar cost averaging on shitty coins or has no use cases or meme coins or any of this. you guys are gonna end up losing more money, right? So I mean, those of you guys who are, if you are new to crypto, let me tell you something, right? 15% drop in crypto markets is it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Is very common. Before, 5, 6 years ago, we used to see 50% drop, 60% drop, 70% drop in a single day, guys, in a single day. So 15% to 10% drop in 3 days. It's not really volatile enough, you know. So if you're new to cryptos, these things can happen. You just have to think about long-term goals. Like, you should think about, if I buy Ethereum now at a cheap price, where can I sell it when it goes in the bull market and when it goes like past 10,000, 12,000, $15,000? That's what you should be thinking. Long-term thinking, guys, rather than short-term mindset. So, and finally, let's have a look at the technical analysis of the Bitcoin. Here is a Bitcoin chart. I'm actually on a daily chart right now. And as I can see, I've marked some levels here of support and resistance. This is primarily the support resistances or the demand and supply and demand zones that I have marked on BTC chart. As you guys can see, if I zoom out on here, recently there was a big sell-off, started a small sell-off, and there was a massive sell-off when the news from China came out and various other, negative news that came out in the market. So as you guys can see, currently it's at $26,000, roughly. Having looked at this technical chart, I believe we could see a further drop, and the further drop could be coming in around 25,000 as well. Or if it breaches that, then guys, we'll see a massive drop towards maybe $22,000 to $20,000 as well. Anything can happen in crypto markets, guys, right? It's not new. It's nothing new. This can happen. Possibly could go even lower as well. However, I don't believe it will go lower than 20K or even 22K. To be honest, it might come down around 25K as well and then start shooting back up. You don't know. It depends upon how China is going to react next week on Monday. I believe China will then start reducing the interest rates. We might see that happen, and when that happens, market will take that as a positive step, and then could potentially take all the stock markets and crypto markets back up again. So this could potentially happen very, very soon, very, very soon as Monday or even Sunday evening, guys. So expect a volatile opening session on Sunday evening for cryptocurrencies, for futures, for stock markets, for everything, right? So this is expected. It's nothing new. If you look at, for example, if I show you Nasdaq's chart, all the tech stocks, as you guys can see, again, it is absolutely similar to what we had for the Bitcoin. It started going up from the beginning of the year, from 2023. As you can see, January 2023 has been going up since then. It is expected to have a solid correction, which has occurred. As you guys can see, it reached all the way down to nearly 16,000 for Nasdaq index. However, it has dropped all the way down to about nearly 1,400 points. And it's a very similar story for US 30 index as well. As you guys can see, pretty much exactly the same thing, right? And this potentially, could even come down to 33,000 as well. However, there may be, as I said, the Chinese government might react on Monday or on Sunday evening. They might block the markets to remove the jitteriness in the market, and this potentially could take all the way up, right? As you guys can see, on Friday, we had a really big volume of buys coming in for the, US 30 stock index. Similar story, guys. If I look at gold as well, it has been dropping, as you guys can see. In situations like this, gold should be going back up, right? It doesn't. It actually falls down. Every asset class is falling down. And as you guys can see, it's been falling down for quite a few days now, from where it was to where it is right now. So massive drop on indices, gold. And if you look at BTC price, again, as you guys can see, we are on a daily time frame. If I look at a weekly time frame, I see a bear pattern forming here, to be honest, guys. If I take all the way down to the lowest points we have reached recently, and then if I draw what I'm going to draw now, I'm going to draw, and and I'll explain to you in a minute what I'm doing right now. So this was one of the lowest points, and we can see this here clearly, right? This is, guys, a bearish flag pattern, inverted flag, as you guys can see on a weekly chart. And potentially we could see a bounce from around this region from $25,000 itself and go back up again and breach this. If that doesn't happen, what's going to happen is it might come down to 25, 24, then it will hit this line again up somewhere around here, and then it might potentially come down to like 20,000 or even just below, this level here is 19,000 or something. This could potentially happen depending upon how the market is reacting next week, right? Could easily drop that far. As you guys can see, however, if I look at it, look at the daily volume, like a weekly volume, guys, it's not much, right? The volume is very, very low. And when there is a low volume, it potentially means that market could potentially reverse from here, guys, because there's absolutely no volume here. It's dropping on low volume. I don't see a big bar like this, as you guys can see. Although this, a big weekly candle is a negative bear candle. However, I do not see a massive sell-off, right? I do not see a massive sell-off, basically. Look at this, right? It's a very small candle. So there is no liquidity in the market. People are not selling the Bitcoin, which means price potentially could do a reversal depending upon if there is a good news coming in the market from China, the Chinese government, or potentially we could see a nice reversal from here as well, guys. Same story as you can see in ETH, exactly the same story that we see a bearish pattern. It's formed, bearish black pattern is formed even on ETH. Same issue. However, you also have to consider, guys, that potentially, we could have Chinese government intervening and reducing the interest rates, and this could potentially make it, a pattern reversal, basically. But right now, I see exactly the same pattern as you guys can see, an inverted flag, which means market could potentially drop. And if I mark the charts where the support and resistance are, where I'm interested in mainly, so this is one of the very, very key support levels, which is around $900, guys, $900 for Ethereum. It could potentially drop that far as well. Another level that I'm very interested in is around here, is around $1,400, right? That's the first level that I potentially see if it hits this line again, or if we see negative sentiments still preserving, potentially, drop even further and come all the way down here. June last year's low of June 2022. So potentially this can happen. From the weekly charts, this is what I see. However, when I switch back to daily chart, again, there is a reversal pattern here, but what I would suggest is, again, we could easily come back here, hit it again, and then move back inside this pattern, and then it invalidates this pattern. This could also happen as well, guys. So, generic idea is that, right now, if you're doing dollar cost averaging, then this is a very good time for you to do dollar cost averaging every time. and market drops big, you have a chance of actually do the dollar cost averaging, reduce your average price of the crypto assets that you have bought, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, whether it's Cardano, anybody, right? And that will give you a nice, average price. And when the market shoots back up, which we know it will do, then you will have, extra returns for yourself. So yep, guys, this is just a quick reminder. Everything discussed on this video is not a financial advice. These are my personal views, and do your own research before you invest in any cryptocurrencies. So that's it for this video, guys. Have a great day, and I see you guys in the next video.